So there's a quiet cyber offensive happening right now as we speak. But it's not the kind you read about in the headlines. It doesn't trigger any alarms, there are no flashy warnings. And yet, it's one of the biggest data security threats we face. It's a story about a ticking time bomb, where today's most valuable secrets are being quietly stolen, just waiting to be unlocked years from now. This is the story of Harvest Now, Decrypt Later. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. This isn't some far-off theoretical threat. It's about something that's happening today, right now. But the consequences, well, those are deferred. Think about it. Adversaries are just stockpiling our encrypted data. They're building a massive digital library of secrets that they can't even read yet. But they're betting that one day they'll have the key. Okay, let's make this real. Forget abstract data for a second. Picture a classified diplomatic cable. It lays out a country's entire strategy for secret peace talks. This stuff is so sensitive, it needs to stay secret for, say, 20 years. If it leaks, it could change everything.
So, naturally, we do everything by the book. We wrap this file up in the best encryption we have today. We're talking things like RSA 2048. We send it over a secure line. To anyone who manages to grab it, it should just be unreadable gibberish. On paper, it's perfectly safe. But here's the kicker. This is the whole game. The adversary doesn't even try to break the encryption today. Why would they? All they have to do is intercept that encrypted package, copy it, and then just file it away. They stash it on some massive server farm, and they wait. They're patiently waiting for the one tool that can crack it wide open, a powerful quantum computer.
Right, so this whole strategy, it's got a name, and it's really the core of what we're talking about today. So let's pull back the curtain and really define what this ticking time bomb is all about.
Harvest Now, Decrypt Later, or HNDL for short. I mean, the name pretty much says it all, doesn't it? The harvest part is happening right now, silently and on an unbelievable scale. And the Decrypt Later part? Well, that's the long-term bet. It's a massive intelligence investment that only pays off in the future.
And this is what makes HNDL so insidious. I mean, think about a typical hack. It's loud, right? Alarms are blaring, systems are down, and incident response teams are scrambling. HNDL is the polar opposite. The damage is way off in the future. It's completely silent, so no alarms go off. And because nothing seems broken, nobody reacts. It is literally a ghost in the machine.
So the obvious question everyone asks is about the timeline. When is this all going to happen? But it turns out almost all of us are focusing on the completely wrong deadline. And that's creating this huge, dangerous blind spot.
Yeah, this is the question you hear everywhere. When is Q-Day? When will someone finally build a quantum computer that's powerful enough to crack all our current encryption? You hear people throwing around dates, 2030, 2035, but honestly, asking this question is a trap.
We have to flip this whole thing on its head. The question we should be asking isn't about when their machine will be ready. The real, crucial question is, when do our defenses need to be fully migrated and in place? The deadline isn't set by their breakthrough, it's set by our own readiness.
And when you look at the math, it's pretty brutal. For a large company or a government to completely switch over to new cryptographic standards, realistically, you're looking at 7 to 10 years easy. So let's say you start in 2026. You might, if you're lucky, finish around 2033. The problem? That's right around the time many experts think Q-Day could actually arrive. We are on a collision course. And hey, don't just take my word for it. According to a recent report, a full third of cybersecurity experts, that's 1 in 3, believe Q-Day will happen before 2032. That window for us to get our act together is already closing fast. A wait-and-see strategy is looking more and more like a terrible bet.
You know, this comparison to climate risk is just perfect because it really gets at the human psychology of it all. You have this massive, predictable problem looming out there, but it just feels so far away. So for any single company, it's totally rational to say, hey, let's kick this expensive project down the road and worry about this quarter's budget. But when everyone does that, you get a collective, absolute catastrophe.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. Here's the good news, and it's actually really good news. We are not defenseless here. We don't have to invent a solution from scratch. The toolkit to fix this, called post-quantum cryptography, or PQC, is already here, and it has been seriously battle-tested. These new standards from NIST, the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, weren't just cooked up overnight. They're the winners of a grueling 8-year global competition. Think of it like a cryptographic Olympics, where the best minds on the planet submitted their algorithms and then spent years trying to break everyone else's. Only the strongest survived.
And here they are, the new champions. As of August 2024, standards like ML-KIM, which is for setting up a secure connection, and ML-DSA, for proving you are who you say you are finalized and ready to be used. These aren't theoretical ideas anymore. They are real, vetted, trusted tools that organizations can start using right now. So great, the tools exist, but now what? How do we actually move from theory to practice? What does a company actually need to do to get this transition started? Because that migration clock, believe me, it is ticking. All right, here's the game plan. It's a pretty straightforward framework. First, you have to do an inventory. I mean, you can't protect what you don't even know you have. Then, you prioritize the really sensitive stuff, the data that needs to stay secret for a long time. You start rolling out hybrid systems, you demand that all new technology is crypto-agile, you check your hardware, and you get your entire supply chain on the same page.
And I want to pause on that crypto-agile point because it is so critical, starting today. Look at this. If you build a system in 2026 and you do it the smart way, upgrading later is as simple as changing a config file. But if you build it the old way, hard coding in old crypto, my gosh, you're looking at a complete top-to-bottom code rewrite. The cost is astronomical. The architectural choices we make right now will literally determine if this is a minor headache or a full-blown corporate disaster down the road. Now, let's zoom out one last time, all the way to the 30,000-foot view, because this isn't just about companies protecting their data. This is a fundamental issue of geopolitics and national security.
You know, for years, there's been this debate about putting backdoors and encryption so law enforcement can get in. But here's the reality. Cryptographers will tell you a backdoor for one is a backdoor for all. If we build these incredible new quantum-resistant locks, only to then drill a little hole in them that a regular computer can exploit, we've completely defeated the purpose. And this is the ultimate price. This is the reason nation-states are pouring billions of dollars into quantum computing, the ability to retroactively unlock a decade and a half of a rival's most guarded secrets. All their diplomatic cables, their military plans, their economic intelligence. It would create an intelligence advantage unlike anything in modern history. It is literally the power to rewrite the secret history of the world.
Then that's where we're left. The harvest is already underway. The data is being collected as we speak. So this isn't a race of if, it's a race of when. And the only real question left to answer is whether we will have built the ark before the flood arrives. Will our migration be complete before their quantum key is finally forged?